What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm going to be reacting to 5 incredibly strange photographs and the unexplained stories behind them by Top 5s. Now, I love Top 5s. Top 5s makes really freaking weird and creepy videos a good portion of the time. And I really like them. So hopefully this will be quite interesting and quite weird and strange. But with that being said, the original links in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Top 5s. So without any further ado, let's begin.
Creepy Boy.
Creepy Boy. Not the most creative title.
Plessy Woods is a country park located on the banks of the River Blythe in Northumberland, UK. It's a popular place for families to visit and has some cool looking hobbit doors in some of the trees.
Ah, that's weird.
So on a sunny bank holiday Monday in 2018, Laura Watson thought it was the perfect place for a family day out.
2018?
More than they bargained for. After a picnic, the family decided to walk their dogs. As they walked along, Laura's children, Charlotte and Brian, and their cousins Jack, spotted a large tree they wanted to climb. Seeing it as a perfect photo opportunity, Laura got the 3 children to pose. When she got home and put the picture on the computer...
Oh my goodness, I can see it. Oh frig, I got chills everywhere. Right behind this kid. Oh my goodness, why do people do this? And this year this happened.
She noticed something behind her son's shoulder.
Oh,
she zoomed in to get a better look.
No, don't
zoom in.
And was
shocked to see what looked like the face of a boy peering between the branches. On closer inspection, he had his hand on his son's shoulder. The family are convinced that there was no one there at the time the photo was taken. And
that is freaking creepy. I don't like... Oh my goodness, we barely started the video and I'm already creeped out. I got like chills everywhere when I first noticed it, like everywhere.
You would think Byron would know if someone's hand was on his shoulder. Laura, who is a skeptic and has never believed in the paranormal, has become so unnerved by the image that she is having trouble sleeping. And fears if it is a spirit, that it may have followed her family home. Many have speculated on what the figure could be, and some have suggested that it's the spirit of a young boy who drowned in the river near the woods some years ago.
Stop.
I've done a bit.
I don't want to look at it. It's freaking creepy. I don't want to look at it.
Of research into the woods nearby and can't find anything about the drowning. But that doesn't mean it's not true. What I will say is that if the photo is real, it could be one of the clearest ghost images I've ever seen.
That was creepy. As soon as I noticed it, oh my goodness, I got chills everywhere. I did not want to look at that image. What made me think reacting to this was a good idea?
Who's in the window? Now, I don't use Reddit a whole lot for video research, but there are some hidden gems on there that often get dismissed, and this is one of them.
Speaking of hidden gems on Reddit, I found this image the other day. I posted it on Twitter. I think it's like the funniest joke I've seen on Reddit in a little while now.
The poster was Copender, and the photo in question was taken by his father back in 2016. The family had rented an apartment in one of the oldest parts of Quebec City, known as Place Royale. The family stayed in the 2 floors above the restaurant you see in the photo. Well, one evening, the whole family went out for dinner, leaving the apartment empty. And on the way, the dad took 2 pictures in quick succession of the outside of the building. The family then went...
Oh, so is it this person right here? Person just snooping around upstairs? That's what it might be. It might be someone just going around through their room.
Went straight up to their rooms, but when they looked back over the photos, they noticed a strange figure was lurking in the living room of their apartment. The apartment was exclusively rented to them, and only themselves and the landlord of the pub below had the keys. So who this was a complete mystery. Nothing had been moved or taken in the room, and there were no signs anyone had been in there. So it's unlikely it was a cleaner or maintenance man, especially that time of night.
Probably just yeah, like employee or someone with a room key just snooping around trying to find something valuable. And if you didn't really have anything that valuable, they probably wouldn't take anything, right?
So who was the mysterious figure in the apartment? If it was a human, how did it get out so quickly without the family noticing? After all, it took less than a minute to get up to the apartment after the photo was taken, and no one should have been up there in the first place.
Maybe they never left. Maybe they're still in it, right? Maybe they're hiding.
Fair.
That's a creepy thought.
In 2014, British professor John Hyatt caused a stir when he released a series of photographs depicting tiny flying creatures that he suggested looked like fairies. John captured the unique images when he was out rambling in the Rosendale Valley in Lancashire, and snapped what he believed to be a cloud of insects. However, when he got back to his studio later and enlarged the images using normal-sized enhancement techniques, he saw these tiny figures. Shocked by what he saw, John went out again and took pictures of flies and gnats for comparison.
Wait, so is this the image he took here? And where's the actual image of it zoomed in or whatever?
But said they just didn't look the same as the fairy images. The collection that he entitles Rosendale Fairies went on display at the Whitaker Museum in Rosendale and caused a sensation. John, who is an international artist and professor of art...
That's weird. But he said it was like a cloud of them, right? So did you get a picture of the cloud first? That's what I want to know.
Art and Design at Manchester Metropolitan University was contacted by people from all around the world wanting his advice on how to find and contact the beings, with many agreeing that the creatures in his images do have a human form. But insect experts disagree, believing that they are most likely a small species of fly known as the midge. These tiny midges form mating swarms where the males will
Ew, is that them everywhere?
dance around, trying to attract the opposite sex.
Oh, that's too many. That's way too many. Too many. Too many. This is why I don't like nature.
But John is sticking to his guns. He's not saying they are fairies, but he's not saying they're not. He's always wanted people to approach the image with an open mind and decide for themselves what they see. This is a
Can we have some pictures of the flies that the other people think they are?
quote from John. A lot of people who have seen them say they have brought a little bit of magic into their lives, and there's not enough of that around. In a strange twist in the story, it was later revealed the day the photo went viral that John was diagnosed with throat cancer. Thankfully, he has since made a full recovery. He did a lot of research on the origins of fairies and discovered that contrary to modern belief, fairies were not always pictured as good and friendly beings, and traditionally they were seen as bringing misfortune.
What do the actual flies that the experts think they are look like? Because that's what I want to know. Okay, before we continue on, I'm gonna go find the flies. I'm gonna go find the flies.
They are most likely a small species of fly known as the midge.
Midge? Okay, so this is a midge fly right here. It could be it. That would explain it. Nonetheless, still really weird.
Angel or insect. Now this next image was sent to me by a viewer who regularly sends me interesting articles, for which I am very grateful, so thank you. In May 2018, Glenn Thorman, a fire chief in East Jordan, Michigan, claims a motion sensor camera captured an image of what appears to be an angel floating above his truck.
More like a demon. That looks so scary. Why would you think that's an angel?
He was so excited about what he had captured, he sent the image to his local pastor, who also agreed it was an angel. Thorman firmly believes that God has sent him a guardian angel to watch over him and his family. And it seems he is not alone in this belief, and has...
Wait, it's a motion sensing camera, right? Like they get video. So where's the video of it?
has received many messages from people who support his theory, who have thanked him for sharing the image.
See, I think it's probably a moth or something. This weird tail here. I've seen insects with kind of like a weird tail like that before, so it's probably just an insect. And it would make sense that it is an insect because of this blur. This blur effect would happen with the wings flying so fast, the camera would, it blends them together, so it would cause a blur from the moth or whatever flapping its wings. So I think it's probably a moth or something.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, I'd say it's a moth. I'd say it's a moth.
This next image is well known, and I featured it before in a video a few years ago. But that was before I was told the true story behind the image from a close relative of the lady who took it. Here is the real story behind the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery ghost.
Oh
In
boy.
2017, I was contacted by a gentleman who asked if I was interested in hearing the true story behind the famous photo.
I got chills going everywhere right now. Why do I react to these?
In the late 1980s, Judy and her sister joined a paranormal research group called the Ghost Research Society.
Couldn't they come up with a better looking website? Come on now. Come on now. That's like 1990s style of a website.
Founded by a man named Dale Kaczmarek. And in the fall of 1991, the society planned a trip to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, a place that was believed to be a paranormal hotspot. The cemetery and surrounding area has a pretty grim history. In the 1800s, a farmer's horse and wagon became lodged in the lagoon, and the farmer drowned attempting to free his horse from the wagon. Then in the 1960s and 70s, the cemetery was desecrated by vandals, and heads...
Do you have to have this weird atmospheric, like, sound effects to this? Like, I gotta go to the washroom right now, and I'm trying to hold it for the rest of the video. It's just... Don't jump scare me, please.
Stones were destroyed and thrown into the lagoon. Coffins were also dug up. There were also reports of cult rituals being performed, and it became a magnet for vandals, Satanists, and paranormal enthusiasts. On the day Judy visited, it was decided that to minimize any sort of interference, only one Ghost Research Society member was allowed into the cemetery at a time. So when Judy entered and took the photograph, she really was the only one present.
Why would you go alone there in the first place? If it is a known haunted place, it makes no sense to go alone.
After the photo was taken, it took a week to receive the developed photos. And after Judy showed Dale, the woman in the shot, he proceeded to conduct an investigation with Eastman Kodak on both the negative
Oh my goodness, why do you gotta make it so creepy? So creepy.
and the print to authenticate it. Kodak was able to confirm that the woman was present in both the negative and the print, and that double exposure was not possible, and in their opinion, it had not been doctored. Which means that if it were faked, there would have had to be an actual person sitting on the headstone, which, though possible, would have been difficult due to the fact that the woman appears to be slightly translucent. And so the photograph became known.
She doesn't really look translucent at all. What do you mean she's slightly translucent? She doesn't look translucent.
As one of the most convincing ghost photographs ever taken, and did the rounds in the newspapers and online. Fast forward to 2015, when Zach Bagans contacted Judy and flew her to Las Vegas to interview her for an episode of his show, Ghost Adventures Aftershocks.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've never heard of this show before, this Ghost Adventures show, but he looks like the kind of person that would have that kind of show.
For the sake of the show, he reportedly paid a senior expert in Photoshop $25,000 to examine the photo, and the conclusion was the same. The image and the negatives were genuine. At the time,
You paid a Photoshop expert 25 grand to look at an image. Looks like I need to get better at Photoshop. What?
Zach also offered to purchase the original negative from Judy for his paranormal museum in Las Vegas, but she declined. The relative also explained that although he is a skeptic, he believed the photograph was genuine, and that Judy has not profited from it in any way, and had no reason to lie about its authenticity. He said that she is not a crazy person, and although he could not definitively say it was a ghost, he did say it's definitely not a scam.
Oh my goodness, I have to go to the washroom so bad. I think it's weird. I don't know if it's real. I don't know. And when was it originally taken? Like in the 1990s or something? I missed that part, so I forget when it was actually taken. But I know the relative reached out to you in 2017. But yeah, I don't know, like, if she was in it for money, she could have just sold it to the guy, right? To put in his museum. It sounds as if she wasn't in it for money, because if the guy is willing to pay some guy who's an expert in Photoshop 25 grand to look at the picture, I'm pretty sure he would pay you a lot more to actually have the negative or whatever, right? The original picture. So it seems as if she isn't in it for money. And if she isn't in it for money, then it brings a stronger argument to her side, you know, saying that it might actually be real or whatever. I don't know. Either way, it's freaking weird. I think the last one there's probably no, the first one was the creepiest. The first one was the creepiest, because when I saw the face behind it, I got shivers everywhere. Anyway, if you guys like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe to Joe Family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Top 5s, as well as go support Top 5s on Patreon. That link will be in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Boop!